Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. We are doing a craft today, one that I am so incredibly excited about. I don't know why I didn't jump on this wagon a long time ago when everybody started doing these. I'm surprised that we can still find these flat glass marbles at Dollar Tree. I would think that they would all be sold out. They might be, now that I've caught on to this craft. I showed you a little bit the other night in one of my craft vlogs that I was making pendants. I just had the glass glued to the paper, and that's as far as I had gotten. Now I have actually cut the paper around the stone, and now I've even come up with my own little bail so that we can add a ring so that you can pass the pendant through a chain or a cord. Looky at that. So let's just get started, and I'll show you what I did. I just pulled out 5 of these flat marbles. Now some of them will have flaws, but I find if the flaw is a pretty big one or a pretty deep one, just try to put it on an image that might have some dark on it and it doesn't show as much. So I'm not overly concerned about that at this point. So just go through some magazines and find some images you like. Now I really love this gold right here. This is a thicker piece of paper. This is like, you know, the thick part of a magazine. I haven't used that yet, but I'm going to. I also love this flower here. And to get an idea, it's not as pretty when you're trying to get the idea, but I'm telling you, after you put the nail polish on the back or the Mod Podge, and that is glued to the stone, it is beautiful. And I'll be showing you some examples. So there's that. I even liked this. Whoops, let's put it this way. I thought a bead with some green and pink. I just love green and pink together, and I just thought that would be super cool. And then I love this page because look at these. I think I could possibly get all 3 of these images on a bead. The little bird, this guy on one, this guy on one. How pretty that would be for a bracelet to have those 3 stones. I haven't played with making bracelets yet. We also have this here. We have this here that could be cool. We definitely have the cool peacock feathers. I like to, you know, sometimes just put a little bit of the feathers and leave some of the color showing. I don't know, you just do whatever you want. So let's do a few of these, and then I will show you how I made the bail, and we'll be done. So let's start with this guy right here. I have been using clear nail polish, but you can use Mod Podge. I am told, I have not experimented with that yet, but I just use a clear Wet n Wild nail polish that I got at Dollar Tree. No, this was at Walmart for like 93 cents. And I'm just going to put a generous amount on the back of the stone. And if you don't like your finished product, you can just take some nail polish remover or some 100% acetone and start over. Just wipe it off. Then you can put it wherever you want. And at this point you can turn to make sure you like it. Like, do I want it more on the darker lines? Do I want it more on the light lines? I like it where I have some dark lines and some light lines. So I'm just going to push that down. And I'm going to put this aside until tomorrow. It really does take about that long to dry. Let's go on to these guys. Let's do these 3 things. You can also take some nail polish remover if you want to clean your rock on the bottom. I call them rocks. Some people call them stones. Most call them flat marbles. Let's do those 3. That'll be a pretty little set. You know what I'm going to do just to make it easier is I'm going to just, you know, cut out around those images. Then I can just transport that to its new location. You will see some take this and go like this and draw around and then cut the circle up. No, way too much work. And you don't get the pleasure of like sliding your stone around to see if you have it in the right spot. Now some are littler than others. See, now this guy is bigger than this guy by a lot. So I'm going to use this little one here. Excellent idea, Darlene. So smart sometimes. Okay. Right there, looks good to me. And let's see if we can just get them kind of matching. So 3 kind of small ones here. Am I off camera as always? I have not tried this with a quick dry top coat. As the glue, I will do more experimenting. As I said, I've just started doing this, so plop him on there. Make sure I got the little birdie. Okay, we'll move this now. Let's go ahead and do the pink and green socks. I think I'm just going to like that. Oh, now this one has a big boo-boo. I have to think of what to do with big flaws. Well, I kind of like this big one. Let's go with that. It'll go this way. I like that right there. And again, I could have cut this just to make it easier to transport to its drying location. Now I have some that are already dry on the paper, and I want to show you how I trim them. See, this has been dried for, well, actually I think like 2 days. So I just take my scissors and I just go around. You just cut like as close to the little stone as you can. Then you can trim it a little bit more. I don't know if my color is right on this camera. And there you have it. And these look so pretty when you see them up close and for real. Let's try a different lighting here. No other lighting wants to work for me. So we're stuck with what I've got. But it's just so pretty. Let's do the next one. I have a few that I want to cut out. Now this one, I noticed the back of this magazine page had a darkish yellow, and that kind of showed through when this was drying, but it showed through by a lot. Now that it's dry, I really don't see it. I mean, it might be a little bit more darker in the center, but that was just like a lace dress with roses on it, so I thought that was nice. Then I loved this nice black lacy dress, and I picked a part where there's just a little bit of lace there. I mean, it really can't get any easier. Then it's up to you if you want to paint the back of your stone. I did. On some, I used black nail polish, but I will tell you, let's see. I know you're not going to see here, but like for instance, this one, I covered it all with black nail polish, and then I put a quick dry top coat on top of that. The black, it does kind of give a shadow to the bead and make it darker. That's cool if you want darker, but then if you don't want darker, you can use white. Although it did not get perfectly white, I would have had to do another coat and then some top coat, but you can certainly do either. Now since this has black, let's use black. Actually, you know what? I just remembered this black was marker. That was permanent marker that I used, so you could use a permanent marker. I do have some black nail polish, but let's just go ahead and use a permanent marker on this guy. And if it doesn't fully cover, you can let it dry for a second, do it again. Let's go ahead and do a little bit more. There. Here's the way I'm going to make the bail. And if you want to look those up, it's spelled B-A-I-L. I am going to take a paper clip. Now you want the bail to stick up just a little bit above the rock, or stone, or marble. And you want to know where you want it. Like, do I want my stone this direction, whatever. I'm going to go this way. So I want my paper clip to stick out just a little bit, if you can see that. I don't need it the full length, so I'm going to open this up, and because I don't have wire cutters, I just make a little crimp in it with my scissors, and then I just bend back and forth until that snaps off. I should have wire cutters, don't you think? I'm a crafter. Now, that makes it littler. It's going to go likey so. But first, I'm going to add a split ring. Split rings are very inexpensive. I used to get these at Walmart for like under $3 for 240 of them. I don't know if they still carry this exact kind, but you want at least a 6mm or 8mm. Don't go smaller than 6, because you want to be able to pass any cord through. So I'm going to take an 8mm, And before I even glue that down, I'm going to go ahead and put this on there so I don't have to try to take that split ring, you know, split it open and pass it through there after the fact. So this is going to go like this. Now, you can buy special glass glue. I don't have any, so I have used Mod Podge, which so far has worked out great. And I'm going to be generous with it. Going to lay this down. Just leave a little sticking out. And I'm going to put some more Mod Podge there and just cover that. And now I'm going to put that aside and let that dry. I know it looks like a hot mess right now, but that's going to dry all clear. This is not completely dry yet on this one, but this is what it will end up looking like. You will have a good secure bond. And if you want, again, you could do another layer of black. I don't know if a marker would work at this point, but you could certainly do a layer of black nail polish just to hide the paper clip, but it's not going to show because you're going to pass your cord through the little ring at the top, and you're going to have yourself a nice pendant that you can make yourself a necklace with. Now, I did want to mention that if you wanted to do anything with glitter, you would take your stone, take some glitter nail polish, and you would add the glitter first, like so. At this point, you don't even really need to put more nail polish. You could just slap that on your picture. Let's get this here. Let's use the peacock. Put a little bit more, just make sure I got it nice and wet. And let's do the peacock feather. And ooh, that's pretty. Do I want it there, or do I want it there? I think I want it right there. I'm so fussy. Right there. I'm going with right there. And that's it. I will let that dry, and then when that's all dry, you will see the glitter through the stone. I hope that was somewhat helpful. I apologize so much for my fingers. I have been doing so much with glue and Mod Podge, and it just dries out my cuticles to no end. I really need to start wearing finger cots or gloves. I just get a really bad reaction to the dryness of the glue, and sometimes the glue just sits there for hours because I don't just peel it off, or if I wash my hands, I'm lazy about taking all the glue off. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you make yourself some of these. I will probably be putting these on eBay. I can also just slap a magnet on the back with a hot glue gun, and it makes some really cool refrigerator magnets. But I think that when I'm selling my beads, I may also sell some pendants for those of you who use my beads for jewelry making. And what's really cool is if you make paper beads, you can also, take a piece of the matching magazine page to make yourself a pendant to go with the paper beads. So that's also a really good way to use these. Oh, let me show you now the others that I made. Now, I don't know if you remember the other night, I was like keeping these little scraps that were scraps of what I was cutting to make beads. Look, I glued some on the back of this one. And I have glitter. Look at how cool that is. So there's that one. I think I've showed you the green one. You saw this purple one. This red one, that was a red dress. And then these two guys come from the matching set. This one goes with this one. And then this. And then at some point, you will see the new ones that I made today. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye. Thank you.